Tonight, a Larry Barker investigation. If you drove a car today, then it's likely you crossed over a bridge that's structurally deficient.
In fact, in New Mexico, there are hundreds of obsolete bridges in such poor condition that school buses and emergency vehicles cannot cross them. So where are these road relics and just how dangerous are they? Here's Larry's investigation.
Structurally, what's that mean when you've got two broken beams on this bridge? That this is not a good situation.
No, it's not a good situation.
Does this bridge meet any safety specifications today?
No, sir.
If you live in Gallup, you know County Road 43. It's a shortcut locals use to avoid traffic congestion. Each day, hundreds of motorists cross the Rio Puerco here. However, if you knew the history of this bridge, you might think twice about driving on it.
By what stretch of the imagination is this bridge adequate?
None. Zero. This is one of our worst bridges in the county.
Anthony Demas is the McKinley County manager.
I don't think it would even meet the bare minimum of the standards for bridges today.
Can an emergency vehicle cross this bridge?
No. We'd be lucky if we get an ambulance over it. Other than that, fire trucks, water trucks, tankers, school buses, it ain't gonna cross it.
Now, this bridge did not always span the Rio Puerco. It originally saw service in Vietnam, where it was used by the Marine Corps to move troops and trucks. After the war, it was dismantled, sold to McKinley County as military surplus, and reassembled outside Gallup. Even though this bridge was designed for temporary use only, it served as a river crossing here for almost 50 years. And just down the road is Superman Canyon, and the only way across it is another Vietnam hand-me-down.
This is military surplus, and most of our bridges that we do have are military surplus.
How would you describe this bridge?
Inadequate.
Billy Moore is a McKinley County commissioner.
Is it safe for a loaded school bus to cross this bridge?
No, sir.
Will this bridge safely support an emergency vehicle?
No, sir. If that house was on fire there, they would probably have to take an alternate route to get to it, which could be another 15-20 minutes.
In fact, more than 36 obsolete military surplus bridges dot the McKinley County landscape. Although the county does what it can to maintain them, most are beyond repair, and there simply is not money to replace them.
We have 48 bridges that are just like this. Right now, 46 need to be replaced.
So of the 40-plus military surplus bridges here in McKinley County, how many of those are adequate for public safety?
None of them.
And it's not just McKinley County. This Rio Arriba County span was closed after inspectors found it to be unsafe. When this aging San Juan County relic was built 94 years ago, Calvin Coolidge was president. The bridge is still in use, but in poor condition. And following a freak rainstorm 2 years ago, floodwaters destroyed this span over the Cimarron River in Union County. Scattered throughout the state are scores of obsolete, antiquated bridges.
So the last thing any of us want is for a bridge to fail or a bridge to be washed out.
Secretary Mike Sandoval heads up the State Transportation Department. Each year, some $14 million is allocated to bridge safety.
And we have a whole division assigned to that. It's one of the few items in our inventory that gets inspected every single year, no matter what. And so it's a very high priority. We want to make sure that they're always safe.
There are more than 4,000 bridges in New Mexico, like this Quay County antique built in 1931. The only reason it's still in use is because of low traffic volume. Aging timber bridges like this one in Sandoval County are typical of many still in use across the state. They've outlived their usefulness years ago and don't meet current safety standards. Now, the oldest bridge in New Mexico is not the worst one. The first transport across this Grant County structure was a horse and buggy. Built in 1908, 4 years before statehood, this bridge outside Bayard is still in use.
The average age of our bridge here in New Mexico is 50 years. And when you don't repair these in a timely manner, it just gets worse to fix and more expensive to fix. A lot of bridges have several critical points to it, and so there's a lot that can go wrong, and that's one of the reasons that we inspect them on a yearly basis.
Casual motorists driving across this San Miguel County bridge could not know the concrete supports are critically decayed. Until there's a replacement, heavy vehicles like school buses are prohibited from crossing. Bridge 5257 in San Miguel County was constructed in 1952, but over the past 70 years, time has taken its toll on 5257. A routine inspection last year identified a troubling defect.
2 broken beams were identified, which required immediate attention.
Jeff Vigil is a state bridge engineer.
We believe that heavy load probably went over the bridge and cracked that beam. There were 2 such beams on the bridge.
New support beams were fabricated to keep it open. 5257 is scheduled for replacement. And just down the road, 5995 was built during the Eisenhower administration.
Water has infiltrated the structure, and that water has caused the concrete to deteriorate and start to fall off of the structure, exposing the reinforcing steel bars.
It's safe today, but if not addressed, the structural integrity will be at risk. And just because a bridge is made out of steel and concrete does not mean it will last forever. Exhibit A, the 50-year-old I-25 span over the Rio Grande. Gary Kinchin is a DOT bridge engineer.
We found 6 locations where the concrete directly underneath the beams, where the beams sit, has broken away. It's not something where we believe there is any imminent danger to the traveling public, but it is certainly something that needs to be addressed so that it doesn't get worse and then create a danger.
The price tag for this repair is expected to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, it will cost an estimated $500 million just to bring all of the state's bridges up to fair condition. Passage of the new infrastructure law last year will mean an additional $45 million a year for New Mexico bridge repair and replacement.
That is a huge deal, and that's going to make a huge difference in trying to address these critical and poor bridges in our state.
However, over in Gallup, the McKinley County manager is not optimistic that money will flow this way anytime soon.
You think you'll see a new bridge here over the Rio Puerco in your lifetime?
Honestly, Larry, no. We just don't have the resources.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.
The state with the highest percentage of structurally deficient bridges is West Virginia. The state with the lowest percentage is Arizona. New Mexico actually ranks above average across the country.